Hello, this is Georgia Hardstark.
This is Karen. And you're listening to My Favorite Murder. Hey guys, it's the Weekday Warriors here. Looks like we have a few new faces around here thanks to the Tangerine Travels giving us a shout out. So if you're new here, thanks for subscribing. I'm Rachel, this is my husband Daniel.
And I want to say an extra thank you to Tangerine Travels. We had a nice day on the beach with them last week.
We did. We met up with them in Puerto Morelos and had a great time. So hope to see them again soon.
And I'm sure you already know who they are, but if you're not familiar with them, go to their YouTube link. Go to this link we'll put up here somewhere.
Somewhere up here, or can we do that? We'll try to link up there, or link below their channel too. So we live in Cancun, Mexico. We've been here 5 months, I think we've decided. It's been end of July since we moved here. When we moved here.
We, the whole purpose of this channel is to follow our journey. We had corporate jobs in Denver, Colorado, and we decided that we had higher aspirations than hanging out in quite literally windowless offices all day. So yes, we ditched Denver. We sold all of our belongings. It kind of forced us to become minimalists, and we moved to a lower cost of living. In our case, it was Cancun, Mexico.
Yeah, so Cancun is actually considered one of the most expensive cities in Mexico. But coming from the US, it's all relative. So for us, living in a very expensive city in the US is a lot different than living in an expensive city in Mexico. So we thought we'd share what our expenses have been like so far. Now that we've kind of lived in both summer and winter months here, we have an idea of the differences in electricity. We've gotten a few bills now, so we can give a better idea, better look on what your expenses might be if you also move to Cancun.
We have a little list here, so if we're looking down, if you catch us peeking down, that's what we're looking at. We took an average of the last 4 months of our electricity bill, our gas bill, our water bill, our drinking water bill, internet, phone, and our rent for our apartment. And we averaged them all out.
So now we'll do like a little breakdown, like what that actually goes to for each thing. So starting off, rent, that's obviously going to be the biggest expense here, and it can vary a lot. We chose to have a place that had more amenities to offer. So our place has a gym and a pool.
It has a palapa area,
playground. I guess the grill is in the palapa area. Nice landscaping and stuff, and security. So we chose that, which equates to higher rates, but then we also chose to live further away from the city center, so then we save from that aspect. So we have a bigger or a longer commute I say though, like to get to downtown, but
a longer bus ride to go to where all the action happens if we want to go out clubbing.
Yeah.
If we want to go to Centro, where a lot of shopping is, a lot of restaurant and bars, and where a lot of people tend to be. Yeah.
So it was a trade-off, but our rent in pesos is $9,500. That's typically around $500.
And I think we did pretty good with our apartment. It's 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
We do have a tour video. I think we did a tour.
Yeah. So
we can link that above, so you can go check that out and kind of get an idea of like what we're talking about when we say 2-bedroom, 2-bath and what it looks like. It also came with a couple of beds and stools, so it's like semi-furnished, which I've heard there's like varying degrees of furnished apartments, but I've heard it's more common to have furnished here than it is in the US.
When we were looking at apartments, it seemed like a lot of places had beds at least. And in the United States, at least in the cities we've lived in, I've never seen that before. Our mortgage payment was about $1,250.
Yeah.
So that's where this big difference in savings comes from too.
It is crazy how much like we were paying in mortgage, but in Denver in the US that was a cheap place. Yeah, that was on the lower end. So we're saving a ton by like cutting our living expense in half.
So another expense that we have to pay every month is a phone bill. And we went with Telcel. There are a few competitors. I haven't done a lot of research on them.
Yeah, we do have a blog post about that, which we'll link down below, about how we ended up getting our phone service here and how much it costs and everything. how to get it set up, but it was super easy and it's super affordable. It's like, what do we have? I think it's like $8.50 for 4 weeks.
It's 300 pesos, so if the exchange rate is at 20, it's going to be $15 for 28 days.
For both phones.
Unlimited call and text throughout North America, so Canada, US, Mexico. And then it has like a gig and a half of data.
I think it's a gig of data, and you get unlimited social media. So it's like Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, Instagram,
and Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. Go check out the blog post. But yeah, so those don't count because they're free. They don't count towards your data. So that's really nice. Like, we never burn through a gig in a month just because those are all free, and that's usually what we're on. Oh, and WhatsApp. That's the biggest one. WhatsApp is king here because that's what everybody uses for messaging and calling and stuff.
However, with our plan, I don't think WhatsApp is included. Just Messenger, not like video chat or phone calls isn't supported with that.
Okay, but yeah, the messaging in WhatsApp is okay. So just to clarify, it's 150 pesos per phone, and so we just like pay separate. But
yeah. So a total of 300 pesos, or about $15 a month for an international plan.
It's awesome.
Compare that. We had I had Republic Wireless in the United States, and mine was about $25, like $28 after taxes. So my phone bill alone, which was kind of a cheaper phone plan, was more expensive.
Yeah, and I had Ting, and it was like a pay for what you used plan. So I was always trying to find Wi-Fi so I didn't have to use up my data because it went by tiers, and like the second you used enough data to like go into the next tier, you had to pay like that full tier, even if you only used a little bit of it. So I was only spending around like $25 or less each month on it, but I was using less than a gig of data, or I was like trying to stay under like 500 megabytes.
So yeah, when you do the phone comparison, it's $15 USD compared to $50 USD for our limited phone plans in the United States.
Yeah, we were definitely on the cheap end in the US. So
we also in Denver, we were subjected to Comcast. Not a lot of competition.
Yeah, our internet provider. What were we paying? $60.
I believe it was about $65 a month.
Here we have Telmex. There's a ton more providers. It's not a monopoly like you see in a lot of towns in the U.S. There's so many providers that you can get, and Telmex we're paying 349 pesos a month for 10 megabytes of data or speed.
10 megabyte upload speed.
Upload speed. So what does that equate to?
So like $17, $18 compared to $65. Just from using both internet providers, they seem about equivalent.
Just with like the two of us like streaming and stuff, I haven't noticed it being slow or anything, except like on the rare occasion. And there's been a couple times it's gone out, but so did our Comcast in the US.
Yeah, Comcast did more times, I think. We pay 173 pesos for water that comes from the tap. You can't drink it because there's too much calcium in the water. It's calcium rich, so it can lead to kidney stones. So you have to get your own purified water, and we spend roughly 250 pesos on that monthly.
Yeah, so luckily where we're at, our apartment complex gets a delivery of the 5-gallon jugs, or called like the garrafon, jugs of water, and they're 32 pesos each, and we go through about 2 to 3 of them a week. So we pay that separately through the office at our apartment complex, and then we get a bill from the city water for the rest of our water.
In the United States, we paid between like 50 and 60 USD a month for our water. Our utilities bill for gas and electric was always combined in Denver, and it averaged out to be about $100 per month. And that was for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. We
had a lot more space there, whereas here we only have a 2-bedroom, and we obviously don't have heating here. It's just air conditioning, and it's not like a whole, what is called central AC. It's just the mini split, so it's just ACs that are up on the walls.
Yeah, the mounted wall units.
And so like we don't run those constantly, but enough to stay comfortable. So here for electric, we're spending 220 pesos a month, which equates to like $11.50.
And I want to say they do something weird with their electricity bill. It's a 60-day bill instead of every month.
Yes.
So every 2 months we get a bill for about 440 pesos.
Much more affordable. I do know there's like, it can depend on where you live, that certain, I guess, regions might have different tiers for their expenses, for their rates for electricity. So.
Yeah, that's an important point. And if you start using a lot of electricity, they bump you into a higher echelon where you're charged more per unit.
Yeah, I think it's like a penalty for using a lot.
They try to encourage people to use as less as possible.
Yeah. So don't, like when you first move here, maybe err on the side of less AC at first until you get your bill, could see like how much it'll be, so you're not surprised. We do know someone who was very surprised using AC all the time, even when he wasn't there, and he was stuck in that upper tier, even though he drastically reduced his AC. Like, you're penalized for a while being stuck in the like higher tier until you consistently have a lower usage. Exactly. And then it'll drop you back down. So something to keep in mind.
Use the timers on your mounted wall units is the lesson there.
Yes. So then gas here is just for our hot water and cooking, and we are spending around 167 pesos a month.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that equate to? That is around $8.50 USD. So
combined for about $20 USD, it's a fifth of the cost.
So next up.
Last thing on the list for our monthly totals is groceries.
Yes.
So we probably have a higher grocery bill than a lot of people because we cook 95% of our meals at home, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And in Mexico, that looks like about 3,200 pesos a month for a grocery bill, which is about 165 a month in USD.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And in the United States, we were spending
like around 400 to 500 USD. So like every week we went to the grocery store, we were dropping $100 at least.
And then we'd like have to stop in at a grocery store after work on like a Wednesday to pick up
a few extra things halfway through the week. So yeah, I can't believe like how much we're spending now on groceries is so much less.
So drum roll please, Rachel. A grand total in Denver from just the things we discussed on including car insurance and like
all the jazz.
Gasoline and all that jazz, but just from what we discussed, grand total in the US we're spending $1,965 a month. Compared to Mexico, we're spending about $730 a month.
Wow.
It's a big difference, right?
It's a huge drop, yeah.
So even in one of the most expensive places in Mexico, you can carve out a pretty good life for yourself with under 1,000 USD.
A month, yeah. So hopefully this gave you an idea of what the general cost of living is like here. Obviously you could pay less than us and you could pay a lot more than us. You could easily pay like US prices here too, depending on where you live. Like hotel zone's gonna be more expensive.
Certainly, yeah.
The downtown area is gonna be a little more expensive depending on if you want like similar, similar comfort levels, I guess.
There's like luxury apartments here that you could certainly spend US prices on, where you're going to spend about 1,200 USD like we were on our mortgage for a luxury apartment or a luxury condo or like a beachside residence. Yeah,
beachside is always going to be more expensive. Yeah, it is really, I've noticed here it's really all about location though, and then how nice the amenities are and stuff, so that all makes a big difference.
That's true everywhere. The point of this video was to give an idea of what the cost of living could be.
Yeah, so let us know if you have any questions, if you're thinking about moving here and you're curious about anything else that we might have missed. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video so you don't miss out on anything else.
Yeah, and ring the bell so you can see our next video.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Hello, this is Karen Kilgit. Karen Gilchrist?
Karen Kilgareth.
What's the other one name?
Georgia Hardstark.
A true crime comedy podcast.
Who would have thought? Stay sexy.
And get murdered.
Don't get murdered.
Did I get that backwards?
Yeah, don't get murdered.
Oh, don't get murdered. I thought it was a podcast about getting murdered.
No, you're staying sexy and staying out of the forest. He is not a murderino, guys. Not a murderino.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, welcome. This is the Weekday Warriors. Are you supposed to like fucking pick up?
He was so formal.